Hypothalamus. It is located in the under surface of the brain. One of the two main hormones is the antidiuretic. That is the one that causes water resorption of the kidneys, and the other hormone is the oxytocin, which stimulates contraction of the uterus in childbirth and is important in breastfeeding. And the other is the pituitary. It is a small gland that sits in the sella turcica. Pituitary. It is a small gland that sits in the sella turcica. And the two main hormones are the adrenocorticotropic hormone, which stimulates the adrenal glands and to secrete steroid hormones, principally the cortisol. And the second is the growth hormone, which regulates growth, metabolism, and body composition.
Thyroid. The first hormone is triiodothyronine, also known as T3. Production of T3 and its hormone thyroxine T4 is activated by thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH, which is released from the anterior pituitary gland. This pathway is part of a closed-loop feedback process. Elevate concentrations of T3 and T4 in the blood plasma inhibit the production of TSH in the anterior pituitary gland. As concentrations of these hormones decrease, the anterior pituitary gland increases production of TSH, and by this process, a feedback control system stabilizes the amount of thyroid hormones that are in the bloodstream. It may result from overactivity of the thyroid gland, from conditions such as Graves' disease, inflammation of the thyroid, or a benign tumor. The second hormone is calcitonin. It's a hormone that is produced in humans by the parafollicular cells, commonly known as C cells, of the thyroid gland. Calcitonin is involved in helping to regulate levels of the calcium and phosphate in the blood, opposing the action of parathyroid hormone. This means that it acts to reduce calcium levels in the blood. However, the importance of this role in humans is unclear, as patients who have very low or very high levels of calcitonin show two adverse effects. Sometimes high calcitonin levels can point to a rare type of medullary thyroid cancer. This cancer, which starts in the C cells, can be connected to multiple endocrine neoplasia type 2B and multiple endocrine neoplasia type 2A. However, the calcitonin levels do not cause the cancer. Parathyroid. I only found one hormone that is parathormone that influences bone remodelating, which is an ongoing process in which bone tissue is alternately resorbed and rebuilt over time. PTH is secreted in response to low blood serum calcium levels. PTH indirectly simulates osteoclast activity within the bone matrix in an effort to release more ionic calcium into the blood to elevate a low serum calcium level. The single major disease is overactivity of one or more of the parathyroid globes, which make two parathyroid hormone, causing a potentially serious calcium imbalance. This is called hyperparathyroidism. It leads to hypercalcemia, kidney stones, osteoporosis, and various other symptoms.
Adrenal glands. Each zone of the adrenal cortex secretes a specific hormone. The key hormones produced by the adrenal cortex include cortisol. Cortisol is a glucocorticoid hormone produced by the zona fasciculata that plays several important roles in the body. It helps control the body's use of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. Suppresses inflammation, regulates blood pressure, increases blood sugar, and can also decrease bone formation. This hormone also controls the sleep-wake cycle. It is released during times of stress to help your body get an energy boost and better handle an emergency situation. Digestion and absorption of food are affected when there is too much cortisol in the blood. Indigestion, irritation, and inflammation of the intestinal mucosa occur, which could lead to ulcers, irritable bowel syndrome, and colitis. Excess cortisol increases blood pressure also. High cortisol caused by ongoing stress can also lead to chronic fatigue syndrome, thyroid disorders, dementia, depression, and many other conditions. Adrenal gland disorders cause your glands to make too much or not enough hormones. In Cushing's syndrome, there is too much cortisol, while in Addison disease, there is too little. Some people are born without the ability to make enough cortisol. Causes of adrenal gland disorders are genetic mutations, tumors including pheochromocytomas, infections, a problem in another gland such as the pituitary that helps regulate the adrenal gland, and certain medications. The other hormone that is produced here is aldosterone. This mineralocorticoid hormone produced by the zona glomerulosa plays a central role in regulating blood pressure and certain electrolytes. Aldosterone sends signals to the kidneys, resulting in the kidneys absorbing more sodium into the bloodstream and releasing potassium into the urine. This means that aldosterone also helps regulate the blood pH by controlling the levels of electrolytes in the blood. Congenital hypoaldosteronism is a rare disease caused by the deficiency in the activity of aldosterone, an enzyme that acts in the final step of aldosterone synthesis. Overproduction of aldosterone leads to fluid retention and high blood pressure, weakness, and rarely episodes of paralysis. It is caused by the tumor in the adrenal gland or by the presence of some diseases. Sometimes the tumor is removed or drugs that block the action of aldosterone are given. Pineal gland. The major hormone produced by the pineal gland is melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone produced by the pineal gland that has various functions in the body and especially in the regulation of the sleep-wake cycle. The pineal gland is stimulated by darkness, which is why it produces melatonin in the body at night. This production encourages the person to sleep, and as more light is perceived, the amount of production of this hormone decreases, causing him to gradually wake up. High levels of melatonin in the blood inform organs and tissues that is at night and help organize homeostatic rhythms. Strong reductions of circulating melatonin are also observed in numerous disorders and diseases, including Alzheimer's disease, various other neurological and stressful conditions, pain, cardiovascular diseases, cases of cancer, endocrine and metabolic disorders, in particular diabetes type 2. Serotonin. Serotonin is the key hormone that stabilizes our mood, feelings of well-being, and happiness. This hormone impacts your entire body. It enables brain cells and other nervous system cells to communicate with each other. Serotonin also helps with sleeping, eating, and digestion. However, if the brain has too little serotonin, it may lead to depression. If the brain has too much serotonin, it can lead to excessive nerve cell activity. It also helps reduce depression, regulate anxiety, and maintaining bone health. Serotonin syndrome can occur when you take medications that increase serotonin action, leading to side effects. Too much serotonin can cause mild symptoms such as shivering, heavy sweating, confusion, restlessness, headaches, high blood pressure, twitching muscles, and diarrhea. More severe symptoms include high fever, unconsciousness, seizures, or irregular heartbeat. Serotonin syndrome can happen to anyone, but some people may be at higher risk. You are at a higher risk if you increase the dose of medication that is known to raise serotonin levels or take more than one drug known to increase serotonin. You may also be at risk if you take herbal supplements or illicit drugs known to increase serotonin levels.
Hi, I'm going to talk about my two glands that are ovaries and testes. Okay, I'm going to start with the ovaries. The two principal hormones are estrogen and progesterone. The function is progesterone and estrogen are necessary to prepare the uterus for menstruation, and the release is triggered by the hypothalamus.
Some diseases that can cause are ovarian cyst, ovarian cancer, menstrual cycle disorder, and polycystic ovarian syndrome. Next, the testes. The two principal hormones of the testes are testosterone and vitamin B. The testosterone is important in the first stages of developing the male reproductive organs in a fetus. The testosterone also provides the main stimulus for sperm's reproduction. Some of the diseases are male infertility, testicular cancer, epididymitis, and cryptorchidism. Yeah, thank you.
La parte chida. Ya está. Muchas gracias.